Waves. Shell Divers Strategy on the Nasdaq Futures contract NQ on a 15-minute time frame. Shell Divers Tragedy is a classic Wyckofian setup introduced by Bob Evans. And well, I should have said that Wyckoff laid the framework and Bob Evans took over his work and quickly became the leading authoritarian in the world back in the 50s and 60s within the Wyckoff realm, the Wyckoff training. And Bob Evans used little stories to help emphasize or cement the content in a different manner. And this was in general all by audio, and you would have a company PDF, or back in the day it would be a chart of sorts. For example, the jump across the creek and the fall through the ice, and in this case the Shell Divers Tragedy. Let me tell the story and all will become apparent. So we have a fisherman over here, and he dives down into the sea and he picks up a shell. Then he swims back up and puts it in his basket. Thank you very much. So again, he swims down, he picks up his shell, he swims back up and he puts it in his basket. Thank you very much. Again, he swims down, he picks up his shell, then he swims back up and oh, what happens? That's the surface. He dies. The dive was deep. He tries to swim back to the surface and unfortunately he runs out of steam and comes to a tragic ending. He dies. He was unable to reach the surface, and this is the Shell Divers Tragedy. So in other words, it's a change of behaviour with a weak rally. The surface is of course breaking the last swing high. It comes down, breaks the swing high. Comes down, breaks the swing high. Then he comes down, he dives too deep, unable to reach this swing high, runs out of breath and dies. It is not the nicest of tales. However, it does illustrate the story of waves, which is fitting, I guess, as there are waves in the charts and waves in the sea. Hopefully, this should etch in someone's mind, which I guess is the point. But personally, I don't think in these terms. Change behaviour wave, weak rally. Let's dissect this chart. Wave F is our change of behaviour. It's larger than the previous up wave and larger than the previous down wave. Look how we slam down here with this price action. Good selling here and here, especially compared to the previous selling where the angle of ascent, yes, we're almost holding here. We're unable to react, although it is technically a down wave. So here we can say that the selling is worlds apart and much better that of the buying and the previous down wave. We have everything here in wave F. The upside waves decrease, shortening of the thrust. We have a new large down wave here with excellent selling that breaks structure. This is our swing low and look how we break. We break decisively with evidence of good selling. This is a new momentum low. Then from the lows of F we rally. Bang, what happens here? Price action chop. We can draw a line through the price action. And where are we? Where are we here? We're in the previous area of supply, where we break this mini local level support with ease, closing over 50% of our bar under structure. This move is valid after we have the weakest attempt to rally on the chart. So here we're unable to push. This is a 15-minute time frame. So 1, 2, 3, it's over 2.5 hours we are unable to rally. And of course we've noted we are in a previous area of supply. And if we add structure, wow, now we can see how we are capped. The sellers are capping progress here. We're drawing a support here. We can take a trade anywhere in here. This is the exact point we want to take a trade. We would envisage this. When we're down here and we can see this price action hold, we're looking around this area for a trade, either here or here. When we go short from here, we must be alert and aware of the main demand line as we bounced off over here. Look, we have touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. This demand line has held. That's significant. This is a decent, working, valid demand line. However, when we piece all the background conditions together, odds favour that this level will break because we can see demand diminish. We have good selling quality. I mean, look at this bar. Look what this wave achieves now when we add further structure. We break 1 level of support, 2 levels of support. We break this demand line, 3 areas of structure, and we also break or weaken our main demand line. So we're breaking or penetrating 4 levels of structure in one move with good selling quality. That is weakness coming into the market. That is very weak behavior. I hope you can recognize and see the importance of this wave, this new momentum low. Then as we push up, we stall, we trade. We come back down to the demand line, we see some buying. Then what happens? No ability to rally. And where are we here? In this previous area of supply, which breaks this mini trading range here. Over 50% of our spread closes under this area of local support. So it's valid. Then we come back down and look at this price action here. We halt, grinding through the demand line here. Let's talk about this action here in a little more depth. First of all, this is a demand line. And what should happen at demand? Yes, demand should emerge, yet there's no active buying. So anyway, we're disconfirming supply. Agreed? There's no buying. Also, we can use our comparative analysis. Here, buying, 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 buying. This time, where is the buying? Here. So we are disconfirming supply, 1, with logic, as demand should emerge from demand line, and 2, with our comparative analysis. In other words, we are disconfirming demand twice. And through disconfirming demand, we get the confirmation of supply, which fits in with all of this price action. Then eventually we grind through, we rally back up, and look, bang, bang, amazing. These 2 bars hold the flip side use of our demand line, which is held all this way. Amazing. It's truly fascinating how this works time and time again. We have another trade opportunity here if we're not short from here. Lovely. Of course, if we are short from here, our first obstacle is the swing low from the change of behavior wave. We need to break this level. And how we do break this level, and look how we break. We bounce off here, however not that strong, and then boom, over 50% of the spread closes under our area of structure, giving the move validity. And this is the power of trading with waves, trading in this manner. So after a change of behavior wave, we must pay close attention to the preceding rally. So after here, this is the rally we pay close attention to. Like I previously said, when we see this print for the next day, this is on our watch list. We are eagerly anticipating a rally, and we want it to come to here, we seek weakness, or here to seek weakness, because we're playing for another leg down. And if we are short from here, again, we need to see it take out this and this. When we see this hold, unable to rally, we're comfortable. We see this hold here, resistance being respected, brilliant. Odds favour lower prices. Lastly, let me finish by saying when we have a change of behaviour in momentum, as we do here, a new momentum low, rarely we rally back to the highs to test. Logically, this makes sense, as new momentum coming into the market should continue in the new direction with little resistance. In this case, the sellers, they keep on pushing, they take the reins, they cap upside progress like they do in this area. We can see there's no ability. They're absorbing all of the demand here, ready for markdown, ready to drive down. There's a question here. At the highs of G wave, is that absorption? At the highs of G wave. Oh, this area here, is this absorption? Oh, I see, because there's supply to the left. Well, is that absorption? No. Why? Because it's contextually incorrect. We have a story of weakness here, and it's overt weakness. Don't forget, decreasing up waves. Then we get a change of behavior down wave, and look at this selling. Look at what this selling achieves. We smash through 4 areas of structure, and then we rally back up into an area of supply. This, I would expect this to happen. If we look to the price action itself, we can see there's a very large down bar, which is not indicative of absorption. This is just contextually incorrect, but I do like the way you think. Great question. This concludes today's session. Let me finish by saying that we have covered change of behavior, which is momentum based, and the market provides the largest down wave since the trend began. And there lies the secret. This would be our change of behavior, and we would look for a weak rally to try and make a short play. And these are reversal setups, which of course can provide very good trades. See, this action here is exactly the change of behavior too, the one we're talking about now. And these are very, very, very important. This is a market turn. This is the area where the forces of demand is tiring and then sellers are emerging. Then we need confirmation that demand is tiring, and we get an opportunity here with price action for short. We're banking that there is no demand left in the market. We can break this low for another leg down. And of course, if we catch this action, this turning point on a large time frame for swing trading, 240-minute chart or daily chart, we can hold on to the move for weeks or months if we catch the turning point within the trend. Okay, these are reversal plays. Very, very important. Very useful for higher time frame trading and of course intraday trading. I see no further questions. This finishes our session for today. Here are the suggested assignments. Find one example of absorption and annotate. Apex and annotate. Shell Divers Tragedy. 2 examples of bullish wave trades and 2 examples of bearish wave trades. If I were to pick one of these, it would be absorption, as I really want to get into the way you think to make sure you understand this concept, as it is incredibly important. And of course, the bullish and bearish wave trades are also, they are all important. The choice is yours. Please send them in 2 days for our next session, so it gives me time to work through them. Well, thank you very much. It's been a great session. I hope you got a great deal out of this. It seems as you have. There's lots of good comments. Please feel free, if there are any further questions, to email me, and I should get back to you shortly. Thank you very much. Take care now.